basically with this podcast, there's just this huge amount of people that are unrepresented completely.
Yeah.
How many people do we even personally know that do comedy around here in the state? Like 100 open micers, you know what I mean? Probably total. Yeah. That we might not know, but we like directly come in contact with, you know what I mean? In some form or fashion, you know what I mean? That like frequent the same spots.
It's like 100, 200 that I know.
Yeah, 100, 200 that we know, or at least that you know, and then so many more that we don't know, and then so many cities that we don't even go to. Mm-hmm. And then that's like that in every other state and every other big city, and even cities that aren't even that big have them. And it's just all these people that are trying to do the same thing but have no idea what they're doing, because like you only see stand up on TV.
Truly.
You know what I mean? Truly, yeah. Or on the internet. You never see the person whenever they're like starting out. You know what I mean? So it's just like try to connect from being famous to where they started. Not to say that we're gonna be famous, but I mean we're avidly pursuing comedy. Mm-hmm. Like we're getting up on mics, we're trying to get on shows, we're trying to build a fan base. We have contemplations of moving on and going somewhere else. Like, we're doing the grind that so many people are doing that no one knows about. You know what I mean? Because I would say the general public have no idea how to start getting into comedy. Because I never did. And I was a fan of it just watching it. You know what I mean? It's like it never occurred to me ever to even look into it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I always wanted to try it. But just, that was it. You know what I mean? Like, I never...
You never knew how to start.
Yeah, I never knew how to, like... I'd never been to a comedy show for the longest time. I had never been to a comedy show until I started doing comedy.
The thing is, how'd you find out about the Idiot Box? Like, who told you about that?
Okay, how did I find out about the Idiot Box? I think I just looked it up online and was just like, just open mics, because I knew that terminology at least. And I think I had started listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. And that's really kind of like what like turned it around and made me be like, look, I mean, I need to really try this. The way he was talking about it and like how he was talking about him starting out and going to open mics, I was like, you know, if he had an open mic in Boston or whatever the fuck he grew up, you know, there's probably one near me. You know what I mean? And I had seen the Idiot Box or whatever. I had never seen it open or a show there or anything. But I was just looking online of like North Carolina open mics, looking at a bunch of old forums from like 2006 of people talking about different places. Like apparently there used to be like a couple more open mics back in the day in Chapel Hill and stuff like that. But and then just gave it a shot. I just knew it was like I wanted to like dip my toes in. I knew from the get go I was like, I'm probably going to just go to some shows and then see how I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How'd you find out about the Idiot Box?
I'm pretty sure it was Capers.
How'd you know Capers?
I met Capers. It was weird. I met Capers because he was trying to holler at this one girl
Nice.
I knew, like, sophomore year of college.
Nice.
And this is a story she told. You know, I haven't talked to Capers about it because we're not super close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met him because like he was trying to talk to this girl. I knew sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was it. But then my friend started doing a stand-up comedy club. So like
a school club.
Yeah, like I started attending that.
Yeah. Okay, and to back up a little bit, the Idiot Box is our home. That is where we go and do comedy. Yeah, that is home base. That is where we frequent the most. It's the first time I ever got on stage was there.
That's fam, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's where I've grown the most, where I have most people know me. I feel the most comfortable, I guess.
Had some of the best shows there.
Definitely had some of my best sets and shows. And it's cool. So, all right, I guess let's talk about our first experiences with stand-up in general. Okay. All right, and let's give a little preface. Okay, one, my name's Micah. Okay? All right.
You kind of forget that.
Yeah. I mean, it's important.
And I'm JD.
Yeah.
I'm the other voice on the podcast.
What was I going to say? So, yeah, I've been doing comedy for 7 months.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it for
coming
up on 2 years.
In September, it'll be 2 years.
Okay, word. Yeah, it'll be a year in December for me. If y'all can't do math. What was I going to say? All right, yeah. So, what was your first experience with stand-up?
Just watching it, Comic View.
Comic View.
I love that.
What's Comic View?
See, you know the BET Comic View.
Nah. I probably had seen every Comedy Central Presents that was out.
Comedy Central Presents was that white.
Say that's
half hour, but Comic View was like that hour of like everybody got 15.
Oh,
I used to love that black comedy back in the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely had a heart for it too. You know who I really fucked with back in the day? They don't fuck with as much anymore, but I used to think was funny as shit. George fucking Lopez.
He's funny.
I used to think he was the funniest dude, and that's not to say that he's not funny in any way, but it's just like now with having a more broad spectrum as a person, I realize like, oh, he's just really doing like it's kind of like Hispanic comedy. Like it really, that's the crowd it resonates with the most. I kind of recognize it doesn't resonate with me the most. When I was a kid, enough people said I looked Hispanic enough for me to be like, I get these jokes.
Yeah, George, he does a black Mexican comedy. It's very, I don't like comedy where I gotta put on a suit and then walk across the stage about 55 times.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but it comes from such an old, like, I mean, the whole stand-up started in general as entertainment. Like, you're an entertainer. You know what I mean? So I understand a little bit of, like, the suit. When people, I don't know, I feel like, not knock physical comedy, but, like, kind of try to put it in its own thing. It's like, I mean, you're up there working a job right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're up there. Just the same way you see, like, I mean, it's like if you went to go see a band, and they're all really good, but they're just kind of, like, nodding their head and bobbing out, but they're playing awesomely. It's like, that's going to be awesome. But if they're all, like, rocking out to it, you know what I mean, and really getting into it, I mean, that's just what makes the whole experience even.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, like, a lot of those comedians who wear suits and stuff like that, you know, they're a lot older.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite dude that wears a suit, though, hands down, Paul F. Tompkins.
See, I haven't had much exposure to him.
That dude's so fucking funny. I guess
I've heard
he
his
can.
name before.
I guess he could probably be hit or miss with some people, but I think he's fucking funny, and he's just so consistent with his suits too. It's like so like I don't know.
See,
he's got a suit style.
The best suits in comedy, hands down, go to D.L. Hughley.
Oh, okay.
This nigga's got the best suits in the game. He's like
I would challenge you with P.F. Tompkins if I had to pick somebody. I'm telling you,
you can pick.
He's got the white crown at least. Like for the white people in suits, like he's killing. Who else even wears suits like that?
I don't know.
White dude wearing suits.
You see a lot of LA comics that wear like bust out a jacket. You know.
Yeah. I respect a good sports jacket. All right. Let's now that we're on this, what do you think? What is your look or what your niche? Because that's a thing too.
A look, yeah.
Yeah, because not to say that everyone should have a look, but like you know when you see Louis C.K., it's going to be a black T-shirt,
black tee or a polo.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He might even fuck around wear navy pants with it and just say fuck everybody. You know what I mean? What was I going to say? Who else has a look that you know every time you see it? Like Patrice had a look.
Had a definite look.
You mean he'll fuck around, wear a hat to the side, see half his face the whole time.
Big black dude, man.
Yeah.
That was his look. Dane Cook had that rock star look going on for a little bit.
Yeah, that totally could pick up a guitar at any moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Chris D'Elia has a look. Crazy surfer dude type of look.
Aziz Ansari has a look. He wears suits. That dude looks good in a fucking suit.
He does look good in a suit.
He looks good in a suit. He be wearing cool-ass suits, I feel like, too. They got different materials. I like multi-materialed suits.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with a nice suit.
No, on a nice suit.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna hate nobody with a nice suit. And then, I don't know, then you got people that, like, look way more casual. Like, even Joe Rogan, like, he'll wear a pair of Chucks, a cool T-shirt he likes, nothing too crazy. You know what I noticed, too? I never see, like, people do big comedy and there's, like, a kind of like a logo. Maybe it's because it's, like, on TV. Oh, I appreciate it. Maybe because it's, like, on TV, but I feel like they always wear something, like, non-specific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. You want to keep that. Some comics want to keep that whole, like, everyday man type of look going on.
I mean, because a lot of times that's who they are. And I think that's a big part of it. I would feel.
Put on that candle if you want to.
Okay. I would feel weird. Not weird in a suit, but.
It's not you.
It's not me. And the style of jokes I got, I feel like it would. I feel like it almost seemed like I'm mocking that look. You know what I mean? More so than me trying to... You know what I mean? It would be like me trying to make fun of it. Which, I really don't give a fuck about it, I guess. There you go. But now, what are you most comfortable in on stage? Like we talked about the other day that you got a stand-up shirt. Like, what is your stand-up outfit if you had to pick one stand-up outfit to be seen in for the rest of your life?
White t-shirt, collar shirt, nice jeans, and some boots.
Nice jeans, some boots. Okay. Yeah. See, I like having like I guess like the lightest type of jacket. So I would wear like a button down, but I would keep it open. Some type of cool t-shirt that I like underneath, and maybe even do a short sleeve button down or something like that.
Yeah.
A pair of jeans. I got my comedy jeans. I love wearing when I do comedy, which I know sounds weird. And they're just a cool pair of sneakers. Yeah. I like a solid cool pair of sneakers. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't because I feel like it's distracting. But I love wearing shoes. Yeah, I love shoes.
Well, are we talking? I'm going to a regular show at Idiot Box. Love the Idiot Box, but I'm saying...
Yeah, no, I get that.
If anybody's been to Idiot Box, they know that on a Friday night we might get like 10 people.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I mean, we definitely very recently did a show for 4 people.
For 4 people.
That was awesome.
It was 4 people.
It was 4 people.
You know, and like, hopefully people will hear this podcast and come to the Idiot Box and see that there's 4 people there, and
they can be 6. 6, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But we're talking like a regular Idiot Box show.
Yeah.
I'll put on a collar shirt and everything. But we're talking like, UCC finals.
See, UCC finals, I gotta stick with what I got. I'm not... I know you talk about doing a suit thing. I don't know if
I'm gonna do a suit, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna put on a bow tie.
You gonna swag it? You alright?
I'm definitely gonna put on a bow tie and suspenders.
Alright, you gonna swag it out. I feel... I'm gonna be swagged out, but in my own, like, low-key... Yeah. I gotta feel comfortable, you know what I mean? And I just feel like... I just flirt too much with like what I was saying earlier. If I take the clothes I'm wearing too seriously, I think it'll just come off as I'm trying to be ironic. You know what I mean? Because I have longer hair, I got gauges.
Yeah,
I'm bigger and I'm ethnic.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all about. Like you said, it's all about what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all about what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, if you walk on stage like I feel like I'm mocking this outfit, the energy's gonna resonate.
Yeah.
You know,
true.
I just like dressing up.
True. Yeah, you do that more often than I do for sure.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said I want you to do 20 minutes. I'm like, man, let me get my shirt ready. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to iron some shit. I want to get some shit.
Yeah.
Looking nice. And by the UCC, man, I have my tattoos done. You know.
Yeah, true.
The accessories make the whole.
Is that what the key is? All right. Another thing I was thinking about for the audience, because we kind of meandered away for like the reason we're making this podcast. But the biggest point that I have with this fucking podcast is that like right now, someone's at an open mic.
Yeah, in Charlotte.
I know.
Raleigh. That's what.
Yeah, Raleigh. Yeah, and that's even here in North Carolina. And like in an hour and 2 hours, another open mic's going to start all along that time zone. Like it's just boom, 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 boom every single night. People are getting up and trying jokes, and for the first time,
like somebody's going to their job every day.
Yeah.
For 10 years, not knowing somebody's chasing a dream for 10 years, and then you see that person on TV year 11.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
How do you do stand up? I always want to get into that. I'm like,
yeah, and they say the same thing. Just go to an open mic. Just go to an open mic. All right. Good segue for this. What is it like to be at an open mic? If you were to describe it to someone, give a description like at a typical open mic, what are things you see? Like, what's it like to go to an open mic?
For objectively, like...
okay, better question. What was it like to go to your first open mic where you knew you were getting on stage?
My first open mic, well, see, the thing is, I'm very arrogant.
Okay.
Very arrogant, semi-obnoxious.
Okay.
So every time I got on stage, I thought I was crushing.
Yeah.
I thought I was crushing literally until... I had a set where I got no laughs whatsoever.
Nice.
And how long did that take? Then I was like, man, it didn't take long. It took like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the thing too. People think like you have this fear too. I think in the beginning, like going from wanting to do it and then doing it like I'm gonna try to stick in it as long as I can until I bomb, and then I'm probably gonna get out. You know what I mean? And bombing, probably the worst feeling ever.
One of the worst.
Yeah, it's like one of the worst things you could ever feel. But it's like for some people, it's not for everybody, because we see people all the time come and go from open mics. They'll come for a couple of weeks, it looks like they're really interested, and then they just stop coming because they kind of get defeated. For some people, after bombing, it gives you this spark, like, I can never be like that again. I gotta work on this, you know what I mean? And for other people, they just kind of get really defeated by it, and it's understandable. It's like, I don't know. It's so obvious that you're not doing well so instantly. It's like knowing, it's like if you're taking a test in history class and there's 50 questions and you only get one opportunity for every question, and then instantly knowing if it was right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like, boom, right, yes, God, keep going. Next question, wrong, fuck. And then you get 20 more of them wrong. And you're like, fuck, man, I'm like terrible at this.
But then you get like 30 right.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to start a podcast with my friend.
The thing is, like, I feel like, honestly, if you don't have a strong background in writing, then you're not going to make it. Like, that's
you think so?
And I'm not saying you have to write concepts. I know a bunch of comics who don't write, but you still have to have the whole concept of set up punch in your head.
Yeah.
You know, because no matter what,
and that comes with time, because it's like that's something that I feel like I knew in the back of my head, but it wasn't until I started talking to you and be like, like to look for these things, I was like, oh my god, that is, like, I was just trying to tell a story that I thought was funny. You know what I mean? I was trying to, like, I didn't know I was doing set up punch until someone said it. You know what I mean?
If anybody laughs at anything you say, it's because they had a set up punch. I don't care what you said. There's no way you can just say one thing that's just a punch.
Yeah.
And it's going to be funny. You know what I'm saying? You have a bunch of comics who be like, nah, man, I do stream of consciousness. I'm like, nigga, it's still set up punch. Like, you're not getting laughs the whole time.
Yeah.
And niggas think stream of consciousness is just better than regular, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's just different, and people want to be different so they can get noticed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, if you ain't got a strong background in writing, you're not going to make it.
All right, so if someone was going to listen to this and they were about to go to their first open mic, things to expect. Well, one, at least here in North Carolina, you know, I can't say for everywhere. Everyone is friendly enough. You know what I mean? The point of like, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? You know, introduce themselves and stuff, but no one's going to be like, it was weird. I was like, I don't know what I expected, but there wasn't a sense of like, you got it, man. Just go up there. You're gonna be funny, because it's like
nobody's defeating you.
Yeah, no one's defeating you, but no one's necessarily supporting you, because we all know it's up to you.
It could go either way.
You're about to it could go either way.
That's why I love stand up though, man. Because when you get on stage, there's nobody has your back. Like, it's not. I don't like that group shit. I don't like.
Yeah.
I know you're in a band, but like, I don't like any type of unit based activity, like improv. Like, if we have a bad performance, I could have done my job right, but somebody couldn't think of something funny to say about squirrels. Yeah. And now we don't do well. But if I kill the crowd, JD killed the crowd. If I bomb, JD bombed. But either way, JD did it. And
see, that's something I definitely appreciate, because I mean, like you said a minute ago, like, I definitely am a musician. That's what I've been going to school for, and I've, you know, personally always loved that feeling of performing, and then be able to look over to, you know, a very good friend of yours and see that they're killing it too. Like, if you're killing it, the whole band's killing it, you look over, someone else is killing it, and you're just doing it together, and everyone's like feeling what you're doing as a unit. That's an awesome feeling, to feel like
squad.
To feel like a gear in a watch. You know what I mean? I'm turning, and I'm the reason this is working. You know what I mean? That's awesome. And it wasn't until doing stand up that I realized that, like, I really also like the individual, because I like knowing that it's all on me. You know what I mean? And it's weird. That's not something that motivates everybody. Yeah. I would say someone that sticks with comedy, that is something that motivates them. Yeah. Knowing that when it's bad, it's all on them. Someone that makes a lot of excuses, like the crowd, the moon wasn't in the right place, the tide's too high. You know what I mean? Like, someone like that, I can't see them going very far, because it
was off.
Yeah, because I can't see them doing the critique part is huge. You know what I mean? All right, so things to expect when you go there. Probably gonna get 3 or 4 minutes.
If you go to the open mic, you're gonna get 3 minutes. If it was a comedy club, 6 if it's a bar. But and then like varying in between that. It's gonna be terrifying.
Yeah, there's gonna be also some things people don't know. There's gonna be some type of light system. There's gonna be a flashing, like a flashlight, something to look at in the back that's going to signal your time, to know your jokes. I think the biggest thing, especially if you're doing an open mic at a comedy club, the first big thing, I was like, holy shit. As soon as I got up there, I was like, I can't see a goddamn thing. You can't see anything.
I see your face.
You can't see anything. The lights are right in your face. You can kind of see the first couple people, but that's about it. So the biggest thing that I think I learned instantly, and I think most people do, like for a couple people I've known to get on stage for the first time. I fucked up. Okay, my bad. I thought I fucked up. But the first couple people that I've known to get on stage, the first thing I say is like, oh, I couldn't see anybody, because it does this thing where you're thinking about your jokes for the first time that you're going to try, and you're thinking, oh, everyone's having a good time. They're going to be laughing, obviously, because this is funny. And then you get there, and you're like, I'm by myself. You're saying your jokes, and you can't really see anybody, so it really sounds like you're just saying them to yourself. You know what I mean? I remember that being like the biggest thing I thought of the first couple times I got on stage.
It's gonna, I don't know. It's an experience. It's an experience I think could either enhance somebody's life, like around just across the board,
yeah,
or it can traumatize the fuck out of them.
Yeah,
they'll never do anything.
You know, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like a psychedelic trip.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? It's something that's gonna, I don't know, really open your eyes to a lot of things. No matter what, it's gonna open your eyes. The first time you get on stage, you're gonna learn something. The second through like seventh time, you're gonna learn something real immediate. I feel like, yeah. And then the more and more you do it, you get better at it. Obviously, just by anything, just doing it more. But you learn those huge lessons, but at greater quantities of time away. Like, not to say that I'm not always learning, but I hadn't learned like a big lesson since like my competition night last week until since like maybe a month or so, where I learned something about maybe my comedy or something about my style, and then it took like a month and a half till I learned another huge lesson.
And the thing is, I told you everything that you learned.
Yeah, dude.
But it's just not going to resonate.
Until you do it.
It's not going to resonate until you do it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I kept saying, Micah, don't, like, you know, I mean, I'm sure you was some kind of nervous.
Yeah.
For that competition. His first one.
Yeah, okay. So let's explain a little bit what happened. Last week, at Good Nights or whatever, I competed in the Carolina's Funniest competition or whatever, and it's my first competition. I've only been doing 7 months. I've only been on one show, and it was the show for 4 people.
Yeah.
And we had a couple more, and it was at the Idiot Box, and it was like, honestly, an off week for the Friday weekend show. You know what I mean? And I got on there. Not to say that I didn't have some jokes that are funny, but I mean, it was a good opportunity either way. But I had never really been on a show, and I think going into it, not that I was more nervous, because my nerves, it's like my nerves don't. I get nervous, but not really, you know what I mean? I kind of start to feel the pressure, and that just amps me up a little bit, you know what I mean? And I was feeling that way, but I definitely did feel like this is way bigger than anything I've ever done. And so, in my critique, you know how like you look at a set, like, what did I do well, what could I have done better? I feel like I'm looking at that with a more narrow microscope, or a more magnified microscope, whatever microscopes do. That's what I'm looking at it like.
Stronger
more so, yeah, than normal, because it was a bigger performance. You know what I mean? But I mean, it was a good show. I had a good time.
There was some other cats from Greensboro out there, and you got like, what was your ranking like?
I got 4th.
4th?
Yeah.
So out of like 10 people?
Out of 11.
Of 11 people. So I mean, like, you know,
it's not bad. The top 3 people that got through are funny dudes too. It's like, it's not like I feel like I lost to some hack. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they're really funny guys. And another thing too, everyone did well. Okay, there was one girl that didn't do well, but it wasn't her fault. You know what I mean? It's just like, you can kind of tell.
15?
Well, yeah. 1, she did like 18 minutes, and it's supposed to. You're not supposed to go over 6. And 2, you could just tell it was her first time on doing stand up, which isn't a big deal normally. But it's like, you don't want to enter a competition and have it be you. Don't want to do that. She also had a pocketbook on the whole time.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I care how long you've been doing
There's a bunch of stuff you can do to turn the crowd off. Like, I used to try to wear a hat on. I tried to wear a hat on stage one time.
Yeah.
And it covered my eyes completely, and I looked menacing as fuck.
You think so?
I know so. That's somebody took a picture of me, and I was like, I look like a fucking
demon.
I was like, if I was a cop, I'd be like, yeah, we need to get this dude real quick.
We need to talk to him about sprinkle some coke in his back pocket.
Yeah, I look scary. And I'm a bigger dude. I'm like 6'1", 255 or some shit like that. Like, I can't just be all aggressive looking. I used to look real aggressive when I started.
Yeah.
I used to wear fucking black t-shirts and old jeans and tennis shoes and like ain't nothing wrong with that, but just the way I look, it looked like I was
it's amplifying the wrong things.
Yeah, so people are more focused on my big black guy look more so than my jokes.
Yeah.
So I know I started dressing how I wanted to dress because I thought I was trying to be too much Patrice. Everybody fucking calls me Patrice or whatever, blah blah blah. I really don't like that shit.
Yeah, and I can understand that.
But I don't like it because I'm trying to be JD. I'm not trying to be Patrice.
Yeah, and I understand.
like Patrice.
I understand both sides of that. I mean, because it's like, it's not that we're not Patrice fans. Patrice...
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah.
But I don't want to be Patrice.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah. No, I see both sides of that.
So, like, you know...
Thanks.
I used to wear, like, black t-shirts and old t-shirts and hats and, like, shorts. I just didn't give a fuck about my look. But when I started, like, dressing... Like, I cared about myself, my audience started caring about my jokes.
Yeah.
If I don't care, they're not going to care.
Yeah.
And that's how it works for me.
Yeah.
Unless you looking like you don't care as part of, like, your... You crafted into your narrative on stage, then I was just, like, you know, looking... I see nothing wrong with looking nice for a show.
There's really... Yeah, that's one thing.
I don't see anything wrong.
People can say, like, oh, you don't have to, you know... And even we were saying earlier, like, you ain't got to wear a suit. And I totally believe that. But I will say that... I mean, nobody doesn't enjoy looking at someone that looks nice or looking at someone that feels nice about the way they look. You can kind of see that on someone.
Like, even if I do a tournament, even if I don't pass y'all, at least I look good while I wasn't passing.
Yeah,
true.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, true. Yeah.
Terrible
at least I styled on them. Yeah, I feel that. All right, what took you from being a fan? Because there's this period in time where you're just a fan of stand-up. Mm-hmm. What like took you from being like, you said your friends started the stand-up club, but what really was one day you're like, I need to try this. It took, because you have the fear at first.
Honestly, I had been lying to my coworkers all summer at my job that I had been doing it after I quit for a year. I was like, yeah, I've been doing open mic shit and everything, blah blah.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Because I started doing it, but when I first started doing it, I did this one thing with one other guy. It was such a bad idea. It was it was a poetry show, talent show, and they wanted comedians to host it. 400 something black women in the crowd. Like that's what I'm dealing with. And I have
and this is your first time on stage.
This is my first time on stage. And I have 3 jokes. And I was like, you know what, I'm funny and I'm loose. They'll just get with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was like.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me just go.
They'll just go.
I'll make my friends laugh in conversation, so that's gonna work.
Dude, no, listen. Look, you understand? We get out there. We wrote 3 jokes. He panics and tells all 3 of the jokes up front. That's maybe a minute.
Yeah, that's maybe a minute.
They trying to bounce stuff off of me, and I was like, bro, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You're trying to bounce off something that's wrong.
But bro, all I keep doing this all I remember me doing to get through the talent show. This is all I remember doing. Where my seniors at?
Where my seniors at?
Where my juniors at? Where my sophomores at?
No way.
Where my freshmen at?
It was all black.
Where my seniors at again? That's all I was doing, bro. Where my gay people at? I was just asking what people were, bro. Yeah, that's all I was doing.
You're trying to put together this GPS system,
bro. And they blew Twitter up. Like I can't like.
No way. I didn't.
It was like hashtag I hope these hoes die. Like it was like something vulgar. And that's probably what traumatized me from doing black crowds.
Oh, to this day. To this day,
if you actually do a black crowd for like $200, I'd be like, let me get back to you.
Let me see if I can find enough self-confidence in my bank.
Yeah, but like that, bro. And I quit for a whole year, man.
That's funny.
Quit for a whole year.
Yeah.
And I started writing poetry.
Okay, so my first attempt at stand-up, I was in high school, and I'd always been a big fan of stand-up. And it's before anyone's really fucking with the internet, so I would say I was on my own with it. Like, I guess my friends enjoyed it, but they weren't watching. I'm telling you, I watched like every single Comedy Central presents because I knew what time it would come on for 2 hours, and I would always go home, especially over the summer, and watch it. And so I really wanted to do it. And then a friend of ours that a distant friend of ours that had graduated the year before, he had done stand up in the talent show and had apparently done really good. I'd never seen it or whatever. So I was like, fuck, talent show, I can do it. I think I'm a sophomore. So I audition or whatever. I have some jokes that I fucking made up. I don't even remember. I think I remember making one joke about the eye doctor. I was saying I don't think it's like a real profession. I feel like you get there and they're just messing with you. Like they do like the first 2 tests that take like 27 seconds, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna hold your eye open and just blow air into it." Nah, we got to do it. Nah, you fucked it up. You blinked, and they just do that for 25 minutes just to get the rocks off. I guess I don't know why they're doing that. And then they're like, "Okay, you're fine, but you need glasses." I guess that was the joke. I think honestly. That was amazing compared to probably what I did back then. Anyways, I made the talent show. But this fucking lady that's running it is just... She's just a mean old lady.
She's like, you ain't do the same joke.
Well, yeah, she's just like... She's just mean in general, but she never fucked with me. So, we had 2 dress rehearsals before the actual thing because we're in high school. The one dress rehearsal, I did a new set of jokes because I was like, no one's seen these jokes but the tech crew, and it's the same 6 people every time. So I need to come up with different jokes so I don't hear the same ones so I can hear if they get laughs, and then I'll pick the best ones and put that together, which is pretty smart.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea for being in high school. So I do a different set for the first dress rehearsal. The next dress rehearsal is the night before the gig, and I do a different set of jokes. And she stops me halfway through, and she's like, "You've done different jokes every single time you've gotten up here. When you auditioned and every dress rehearsal." And I was like, "Yeah." I tried to tell the plan. She was like, "Well, that's dumb. You shouldn't dream in life." She didn't say that, but that's what she meant. And she was like, "I want you to write down word for word what you're going to say." And I guess I was in your mindset, too. Like, I'm going to be loose. I'm going to be free balling up here. Word for word what you're going to say. Give it to me tomorrow morning when I'm here, or you're not going to be on the show. And I was like, "Bitch, I'm not doing that, and I'm going to be on the show." Because I thought I had power, I guess. I don't know what I thought she'd be like, "Well, he is a great comedian." I don't know what I thought. So I didn't do it. Showed up the next morning. She, called me out of my class and asked if I had it. And I was like, "No." She's like, "All right, you're not going to be on the show." And that's when it hit me. She was being serious. And then I wasn't on the show. And then I didn't try it again until I was about to graduate college, which was 7 months ago. So, talk about scarred. But it was really strictly just because I was being a dickhead. But then what got me to get on stage here, just always wanted to do it. I've been doing this music thing. I'm about to graduate now. And I've just been doing it for so long. And I really enjoy music and I love music. But I just felt like I wanted to, try something else.
Yeah.
Like, I like being in front of people. I know that's the thing about me. I like being in front of people. I like talking about stuff. I like performing. I really do. I might have to light the big dude.
That's that problem with smoking weed doing the podcast. Just that moment
when you're like,
we's like, whoa,
what have we been doing? Now, okay, all right. What's your writing process?
My writing process?
Yeah, what's your writing process? What was it in the beginning, and how has it changed? Because I always want to keep in mind that people are listening to this. One, okay, maybe no one ever hears this but us.
Yeah,
okay,
true.
That could happen. And two,
Strong possibility.
Yeah, strong possibility.
This could be, honest to God, the hottest 55 minutes ever recorded.
Yeah.
But only we heard it.
Yeah, only we ever heard it. Dude, we might give up on comedy, let's say a year and a half from now.
The thing is,
and then I just send you these when we're 30, we have kids, and we gave up.
Trundy's going to hear this, or somebody's going to hear that we mentioned Trundy. Trundy's going to listen to this, and then he's going to post the longest fucking essay
about how shitty we are,
about how shitty we are, how shitty our dreams are, how shitty we are at comedy, but then how much he loves us, but because we're so shitty, and he's from Boston,
and he can enjoy that shittiness. He just wants us to know he likes how our farts smell. Like he likes.
And then you know what? Higgins is gonna show up 6 months after all this had happened. And we're like, "I'm JD, I'm Micah. I try to do a podcast, it doesn't work. We try to do podcasts, don't work. I'm Sweet Tate.
My roommate shut them down.
And I mean roommate by I sleep on his floor on a mattress. I make payments on him. I'm Brian Higgins.
Is that a thing? Do you sell mattresses? Do people make payments on mattresses?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. We live in Greensboro.
For the mattresses they got, bro.
That's where he got his mattress up.
Yeah, we definitely got to bleep my job out because, we got to bleep a lot of stuff out. Bleeping will be done.
Bleeping's gonna be done. Should we use a bleep? I'm gonna have to find a bleep noise.
We gotta find. Oh, we found a bleep noise. It's gonna get obnoxious in this bitch.
Yeah.
Because if I learn how to edit, I'm like, man, Mike talking about some bullshit right now.
Yeah.
And just start beeping out your whole side of the conversation.
And just cut me out from everything. What was I gonna say? But well, alright, if someone were to listen to this, back to what I was saying, I would hope
Trendy hates us. Like, I want that.
The thing I was gonna say the thing I was gonna say about that too is that he even as I would read that post and for some reason be motivated to continue, but also be motivated to stop. It's weird. It's like I don't know which one he's motivating me more.
Trendy wants you. It's just pressure. It's just pressure. And it's not good or bad. It's just pressure.
Yeah, he wants you to want to quit. That's
but
what
keep going.
But keep going. He wants you to want to do it, but keep going.
We're Trendy out right now.
Yeah, that's what it is. See, that's what it is.
Listen, if you listen to this right now, Eric Trendy wants you to quit doing comedy, but deep down he wants you to follow that dream.
But on the dream, the whole time you should want to quit. It's like his thing.
That's his thing, bro.
Do it, keep going, but don't want to do it.
That's Trendy's whole style of comedy. Like, I want to go home so bad, but I want this.
Yeah, this is also, I'm here for this. I gotta be here, but I can't like it.
What's Higgins' style? Listen, also, Eric Trendy and Ryan Higgins are like the two.
Okay, yeah.
Eric Trendy and Ryan Higgins are the Goku and Vegeta of Greensboro comedy.
Yeah, but they fuck with the moments when they fuck with each other.
But there are moments when they fuck with each other hard. And
I think
fuck with
you think
other
they're more.
comics
I feel like they're more like Trunks and Goten because they really fuck with each other and they're like younger in their comedy years. If we want to get real specific to Dragon
of
Krillin and
comedy.
Goku, we could do anything.
Krillin Goku would be very accurate.
Yeah, do you think Trendy would be Krillin?
Trendy would definitely be Trendy would definitely be Krillin, bro.
Yeah.
I'm thinking just of the head shape. I'm thinking simply the head shape.
Just their head shape.
So he would definitely.
They're both into robot sex.
Because, like Trendy's comedy is just that strong, consistent, dependable, destructo disc comedy.
Yeah,
that's it.
Based solely off technique.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean?
Krillin is a consistent fucking like. If I had to pick a Z fight, a friend or just a friend to help me out, Krillin's a solid 9.5 every time.
Yeah.
Like Higgins is more like Goku because Goku's like hot sometimes, like Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
But then this nigga just gets a heart attack and then starts passing out, and he's like,
yeah. Ask for sensu beans and shit.
I need a sensu bean or some purple juice or something. Yeah, because like Higgins his comedy is like real explosive, and he tells you a story, and it's real calm.
Yeah,
and it's explosive again.
Yeah,
and then sometimes the tag doesn't work, but he's like, "Fuck it, I'm Higgins. I'll
go craziness." Yeah, he'll do shit you don't expect, like fight Cell in the first match of the tournament. Am I the only one that shit their pants when the Cell game started and Goku was like, I'm going first? I remember being a little kid, like, I got this shit figured out. I was like, Cell is gonna whoop the shit out of fucking Piccolo and Goten and Trunks and Vegeta, and then Goku is gonna save the fucking day. He went first and died? I lost my shit. I considered watching after that.
Dragon Ball Z was the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Before, like, think about it.
For kids.
It was the Game of Thrones of
Dragon Ball Z was the Game of Thrones.
It was Game of Thrones of
our generation. Yeah.
Pokemon won't shit because like Pokemon, everybody's gonna live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everyone they're just getting knocked out. I thought for a second you were saying Pokemon went shit in general. I was about to really have to end this podcast and give you the hands, but
no, Pokemon was awesome for like. It would taught me more about friendship and like persistence.
Yeah, true.
Pokemon would talk me about
and the elements. It taught me a lot about the elements.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, like I know.
I was like, Mama, everybody know that rock is weak against water. And I'm like, child, you're a demon, baby. I hate you.
Yeah, none of that makes sense.
None of that makes sense. I hate you. I went wrong with something.
I'm not gonna lie. There's something, you know how... Alright, I feel like I missed some stuff as a kid, because it was like, I think I was a sophomore in college, and it dawned on me that Pokemon was dubbed. I just watched it at such a young age, and was so wrapped up in the magic, that I never understood that it was originally a Japanese show. And honestly, it was like 2 months later, I found out the same thing about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And so I started watching it as an adult. I was like, yeah, duh, it's dubbed. It's obviously Japanese.
See, it all felt to me, like, when I looked at the term anime in Wikipedia, it was like Japanese. I was like, Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese.
What's the... And for some reason, I didn't even think about Japanese being like another language. I thought like some funky made up shit they had.
Yeah.
For the cartoon. I get that at 13. I thought Japanese was like just some bullshit. Like the whole thing was just fake.
Just bullshit. Just believe.
When Goku said I'm drinking some sake, I'm like, what the fuck's fake drink they made up? Like I don't know shit.
Yeah, they're just this Dragon Ball Z land. And you just never, you see all those signs that are in Japanese, but and you never even think of, oh, that's not in English. But you never think that.
Dragon Ball Z never made sense though. Think about it. Goku didn't know about God. Like, he didn't know about God, but he lived in the country in round-ass houses, but there were hover cars.
Yeah.
But some people had regular cars.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or that doesn't make sense, rather.
And then they're like some people are like half tiger.
Yeah, that I was going to say. And then it was like the mayor that he was like kind of like this cat thing.
Yeah.
And there's dinosaurs that can talk at random moments. And they don't talk about, they're just like, whatever, that's the dude.
it's shit like, alright, bro. And then walk off. I'm like,
yeah. So,
no, but you still don't there are dinosaurs.
Dragon Ball Z was so good.
Yeah. But like you didn't question it, and then if you watch Dragon Ball, that's when it really got confusing because
dude,
there were like flying cats that could turn into teapots.
Yeah. And it never had to do with the story. It was just like an element.
There was a talking. If you don't understand Dragon Ball, there was a talking pig.
Yeah,
that just
was it.
But he married like 13-year-old girls and collected their underwear.
Yeah.
And they cleaned his house.
And he was just a pig too, and no one ever brought it up. He was just another dude.
Just oolong.
Yeah. Dude, you remember in the Boo series, the evil witch that made them? His name was Bippity, and then his dad's name was Boppity. And then I realized that they made English words for these Japanese characters, and that's what they came up with. They could have, it didn't translate in English very well, but you could have picked anything, and they're like, yeah, we'll make it Bippity Boppity.
Bippity Boppity Boo.
Yeah, I know. But I was just like, why are you making them, why is that the name of these dudes?
The Japanese do not you know how we don't know shit about Japan.
Obviously, if anyone's listening to this, we obviously know nothing of Japan.
I know I like anime, but I don't know anything about Japan. Like I don't. Like a lot of people.
I don't know anything of stuff that I like talking about.
A lot of people who like anime.
Go ahead, overgeneralize.
A lot of people like anime are like into Japanese culture, but. I just like anime. Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
I really couldn't give a fuck about Japan.
Japanese girls seem cool. I mean, and Japanese guys. I shouldn't be sexist about it, but
you know,
Japanese people are cool.
All I know is that
some of them are not cool.
They have vending machines in Japan that you can buy girls' underwear out of. That's all I know.
No way.
And that's not even a big thing. That's something that we knew like 10 years ago.
And you know why not? My thing is, like, name one good... is it because they want them we shouldn't do it? Because obviously someone wants them. And how bold do you have to be... Okay, one, I'm really into girls' underwear, especially if they've been used. And then two, to be like, I'm so into them, I'll stand next to the Pepsi machine in front of everybody on the street and get them.
But
do they come in envelopes? You think they're probably some type of clear plastic?
You can look up a picture of them.
What if you just order it and then just with a machine just fling them at your face?
I don't mind that they do it. I just want a politician to just talk to me and just bullshit me for like 5 minutes about why that's okay. We believe that it helps the male population resist the urge to
steal them, I guess.
I'm like, what?
Maybe that was a problem in Japan for a while. People were stealing girls' panties, and they were just like, just give them out.
Just for a fee, though.
Yeah, for a couple quarters.
These perverts pay.
Whatever the fuck Japanese people have in coins. Do all money denominations include coins? Like, is there anybody that's like, nah, we fucks with nothing but paper?
No, I did. I know about Canada and Mexico. I know enough about Mexico to know I shouldn't go there.
Yeah. Okay, I feel that.
Man, what was the original question? This is what open micers do.
Yeah.
Try to start podcasts.
We meander. No, all right. We got a template. Okay, there's a reason behind this. I think what we originally started talking about is what is your writing process.
Oh, writing process. This right here.
Yeah. Well, really, we get a lot from like talking with each other and hanging out. But I guess like what I do is like if you've ever been on any type of like thread or forum, I'll write like the top of a joke. Like a joke I've been doing recently that I did in my competition is something I thought of because I play music and I teach high schoolers, and so I teach after school stuff. And for whatever reason, I thought of this something that happened to me in high school is you're never going to be as popular as the kid that died.
Yeah,
that's just something that I at some point thought was funny. So I write that in the top box, and then I kind of like a thread does, like how there'll be comments and they'll keep going down into session. I kind of write little like indented comments of like little continuations or tags, and if it's like a tag for the exact joke, I'll star it or something like that. But really, the writing process for me, the best jokes I've ever had have come when I physically wrote something down. Like I'll put notes in my phone all the time. If we talk about something now, or if I think of something funny when I'm hanging out with somebody, or I see something that I think is funny, I'll just write a little note to remind myself. And then whenever I'm doing the writing process, I'll look at my notes, get ideas from that, or try to like include like a funny phrase. Like there's this thing that I wrote down that I heard this girl say that I've never used in a joke, but I think is funny.
Yeah.
She just came out of the bathroom and she was like, "Why does it smell like a never-ending period in there?" And I thought that was so fucking funny. A never-ending period. Like, not like someone's on the period. That's what it smells like. It smells like a period that is never going to end. And I know. And I don't have any reason to put in any joke. It doesn't make any sense in any of the jokes I have now or planning to write. But one day, if I have an opportunity to say that, I'm going to, because I think it's funny. You know what I mean? Cool. So that's like a little nugget that I keep in my phone, so when I am writing, if I get on something that I can link it to, I kind of just see if I can make it work.
Yeah.
What do you do?
And just sit here and do this. I write my shit in the shower.
Yeah, that's something
I talk to myself like I'm crushing.
Yeah.
I'll talk to myself like this is the most fire material I've ever written. And that's where it comes from, just straight up arrogance.
Yeah. Dude, I'll do like sets, like especially if I know I'm doing a show that night or like a show I care about, I'll try to run through the whole set. Like I'll even be like, "Hey, what's up guys, how you guys doing?" I'll do the whole thing and I'll go through the set and I'll try to keep high energy in my shower and not slip and fall. That can happen, but mainly go through the joke, and if I feel like I stumble over a word or say something wrong, I'll just be like, and then I'll just do it again. I'll just like kind of edit it as I go through it, and then once I get one full time through the way I like it, that's when I feel like, I don't know. That happens a lot in the shower too, I feel like. Because I don't know, I think creatively. Something about standing up in water.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. This is what I don't know, I can't, I've had a bad writer's block recently though.
What do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I think I'm thinking too much about it, honestly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, weird. Like, think about it. Try to not think about something.
Yeah.
Try to not think about apples.
Yeah.
You can't do it because
that's all I'm thinking about right now.
That's all you're thinking about right now.
Apples.
And the thing is, when you're not thinking about apples, you're like, "Oh, cool, I stopped thinking about apples." But then you're like, "Bam, I'm thinking about apples again." Like it's like you can't.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is. How it
reminds me of that brain joke I used to do.
You know, it's
how your mind is like its own entity and you can't really control it.
Yeah, that's how it feels with writer's block. It's like I'm trying to, I'm trying to not think about it so much so I can let stuff come out.
Alright, this is a great next question. Since you've been going through writer's block, what have you written recently?
Man, you know the shit. See, it's gonna be that Depressing First podcast. That's the last stuff I've written.
Yeah, but you haven't even written little things. Because didn't you tell me you got some new stuff out on that show you were on?
Yeah, I got some little tags, little ad libs.
Okay.
Now I think my performance leveled up this past weekend.
That's good. So, all right, explain what you did this past weekend. That was a big deal. And you got something else that's coming up a big deal. Go ahead, plug that, man. You better plug that. We got something to plug on now. We ain't never been able to plug.
We plugging
for the first time. Within which there might be a plug to my computer. No one might hear this.
But what I did last weekend, hosted a good night. That was fun for Tommy Blaze.
Yeah.
And featured James Heskey. James Heskey dude was cool.
Was he?
Cool. He was talking about New York and everything, and how just gotta go and everything. But I also got some information about New York, but I'll tell you that after this. But James Heskey was cool talking about New York and everything, and he was just he was funny, man. He's funny. He's like 6 years in the game. Yeah, he's just funny, dude.
That's sick, man.
He's just like.
And that's one thing. All right, that's one thing that I think the perception that people don't understand.
Yeah,
I think they think, "Oh, I'm gonna try a couple of mics, and then I'll know instantly whether I can do it or not." You know what I mean? Man, you see anyone on TV, anyone on Comedy Central, they've been doing it no less than 5 or 6 years.
It made sense, though.
No less.
I'm hosting. I'm doing I'm 2 years, about 2 years in. Heskey was featuring. He was about 6 years in. Tommy Blaze was headlining. He was like 20 plus years in. Like that shows you the amount of work you got to put into it.
And even back it up, so you're 2 years in, 7 months in. I've gotten on one show. I'm kind of getting lined up for maybe getting on another show for a bigger a bigger comedy club, and I've been through my first competition. You know what I mean? Like these are just like little milestones that like people don't even think about. They think of there's such a it's such a finite thing that like has so many layers to it that you don't know until you get into it, and it really is crazy how deep it goes into her.
Like with how
much work people have put in. Like people just see Kevin Hart and don't know that there's Kevin Hart was doing comedy in like the early 2000s, like the 90s. I feel like I used to see not the 90s. I think that's pushing it, but I feel like I've seen videos of him back in the day.
I've been doing it 2 years before I even get a shot at hosting at Good Nights. Good Nights is like top 10 comedy club. One of the top 10 comedy clubs in the country.
Yeah,
I had to do it 2 years hard. Like I had to go to every open mic I could, record everything I could, edit everything I could, and just get up every single night trying my hardest.
Yeah,
to even get a shot at what I'm doing now. But anyway, man, the hosting thing was fun.
Let's wrap it up. The hosting
thing was fun. It's just in like a big comedy club crowd. You got to be very like friendly, high energy. Keep it going. Keep it. Just good energy.
Okay, that's one thing
I didn't do any of my darker stuff. Even though I got like most of my stuff is like a little bit abstract or dark. I didn't do any of that. I did more of my clever, like wittier stuff.
Yeah, something that's it's like how to even explain like easy to follow. You know what I mean? That doesn't go into something where they gotta really be. I don't know.
Leave them feeling good. Like leave them like, we made a good decision tonight.
Yeah, like I like laughing at that joke.
The main thing is just the level of the room out. Like when you hosting. After your set, you're gonna bounce energy out. Like you start doing announcements or something like that. Like I learned a lot about how I'm a host.
Yeah.
Next time. You want to bounce energy out so nobody's coming into anything crazy. You know.
Yeah.
So if I leave the stage and it's hot, the feature got to start off super high energy, and it might not be your style.
Yeah. True.
You gotta play that balance when you're hosting. But it was fun. Man. It was like the first show was like I did 4 shows. The first show was like 55-year-old white couples.
Nice.
Hard Christian Southern Republican white couples. That was the roughest show. I was sweating like a slave. Like I was fighting for laughs. You heard it. You know what I'm saying? I was fighting for that the whole time. I didn't get them until I started talking about big women, like something simple.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Something like. Something that's just going to be like, all right, this is how I feel.
Something when they look at you is understandable.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the joke that you're talking about.
Like something just every day, I guess.
Yeah.
Something more you can grab one too.
It's not hard to think about.
Yeah, don't Friday.
It'd be different if you were doing a joke about how you dated supermodels. It'd be that's hard for me to believe, man.
Nobody wants to think about that.
Yeah.
Not that crowd anyway.
Yeah.
But Friday night shows are good. Those are the wild ones. The first show had like more people, but the second show they wanted the dirtier material, which was surprising because Tommy Blaze is like, I think it's like, I'm pretty sure he's a Christian comedian.
Yeah.
So the fact they wanted something dirty was kind of surprised me.
Was he clean the whole time too?
No, he wasn't clean the whole time. He was funny. I liked him.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah, you told me some of the jokes. That shit was really funny.
And that Saturday show, man, that was just. Whew. I don't know how it was like the weirdest mix of people. It was like white people, black people with dreadlocks and they dressed kind of gangster and
nice.
Like there was some Lebanese people there and it was just a weird like everybody was there and it wasn't a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was just a rough show to get through, man.
Yeah, I know.
It was just rough.
I mean that shit definitely happens, man.
Yeah. All
right, let's talk about a little bit of our different perceptions of crowds. So, obviously, we mentioned a little bit earlier, like, black crowds and white crowds. And, like, to someone that has never been to, like, any comedy shows or knows anything about comedy, that might sound like, wow, it doesn't have to be like that. But it totally...
It's totally like that.
It's totally like that. And not to say that, there's not an equal amount of races that... Oh, what about the Chinese crowds? Well, there's not a lot of Chinese people in Greensboro.
Yeah.
You mean, if we were in China, then, yeah, we'd definitely be having some Chinese crowds. It'd be less black and white crowds. But... in general, if we had to put in this category, that's what it is. And it's just, and there's definitely different types of comedians. There's people that I guess the people consider crossovers, that do really well. But then there's comedians that like, they are black comedians. Yeah. Their resonant audience is black people more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Hart, huge crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Might go down as one of the biggest crossovers. You know what I mean?
Who's not a big crossover?
Was the one that we watched the other day with the Shaq? special or whatever that he put on with
D-Ray Davis.
Yeah, D-Ray Davis.
Yeah.
I mean, some people. I mean, white people definitely recognize him. Definitely, white people fuck with him. But the majority of his core audience is definitely the black community. And just with like if you're dealing with a group of people that generally, if you're painting with broad strokes, have a different upbringing or have a different lifestyle or have a different culture, they're going to be into different things. And it's just. I've never been in front of a black crowd, but you've said you've had experience with it, and you just don't do as well. The comedy that if you try to do the same comedy, it doesn't work as well.
It doesn't work. And,
I mean, the closest thing I've ever gotten to a black crowd is the Comedy Zone, which is just, it's not even like a level of intelligence, but it's just like they want to hear you, it's like a more athletic comedy. You mean, they want to hear fast punches in your face, lots of energy, and almost like an element of like, you're just shooting, like you're just kicking it. You know what I mean? An element of like, you're just like, you are that funny dude.
Like, you gotta be that crazy. Do you use that funny friend?
Yeah, I feel like there's an element of them being like, damn, that nigga's crazy. Yeah. Like, they're saying that and they're like, this is funny and that nigga is wild. He is crazy. You know what I mean? And with, I don't know, I feel like with like white crowds or whatever, it allows you to have more finely tuned writing.
Yeah.
The writing gets more of its stats than the performance aspect, not quality, but that performance aspect or energy aspect.
A lot of white open mics, man, it's in a bar, people got their feet up, drinking a beer, like just listening. They're not like watching, but then it's like, what's he saying? Kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But you gotta play to the crowd, I guess, or just find your niche. Yeah, you say niche or niche?
I say niche. I don't know which one it is, honestly.
I don't know either.
But, you should pick one to say, I'll pick the other one, and then we'll just keep saying it.
I'm gonna say niche. I'm gonna go with niche.
Niche? Yeah. I'm gonna say niche.
Boom, 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 boom. Alright, let's see. Let's go back to the templates. Last and final question.
How much editing do we have to do on this?
I mean, honestly, what parts would you really want to edit? Would you want to edit this conversation right now about editing? I mean, this is our first episode, so I feel like... Alright, and look, okay, a little bit of element is this too, is like...
Well,
we want to start a podcast, right?
We gotta edit out my job.
Yeah, okay. Maybe not the parts about you talking about mattresses. Alright, but anyways, we want to start a podcast, right?
Yeah.
We want to be podcasters. So, if you're eventually listening to this... we did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty well. But this is also our process of... this is us being stand-up comics. You know what I mean? Getting our feet wet, trying to do it to the best of our ability. And honestly, giving a lot of effort. I mean, I'm about to graduate college, and I don't feel anything at all pulling my life in any other direction other than comedy. You know what I mean? I have other opportunities, I guess. Not to say that I can do whatever the fuck I want, but... I really have been working this music thing for a while, and I have avenues that I could take for that, but... I just don't... it's not as much of a... I don't know if it's as much of a challenge anymore to me, or it's just not as new and fun as much as I like doing comedy. Mm-hmm. And I know you feel the same way. I know you're really serious about it.
Yeah. This is the only thing I've ever been good at.
Yeah.
My entire life. This is the only thing I've been like, oh, this is the thing that you like really show promise in. Like,
yeah.
Even when I was writing...
and like, you always doubt yourself, but I catch myself frequently on moments being like on a show, I'm in front of people, I'm telling jokes, and in my head I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
And I can't be saying I love this if I'm really eating dog shit the whole time. You know what I mean? I know that I'm getting a positive response. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another weird thing. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like a lot of times when comedians start out, they either go two ways. They have way too much confidence in their product, or they almost at all times it's kind of hard for them to it's not that it's hard for me to recognize the things that I do well, but it's like I almost don't like talking about it as much. And a little bit of me, it was like a problem for me to like self-promote, just because it seemed not shallow to me, but like it just seemed like I was taking myself too seriously. It took me a minute to like, and even like I had been doing it for like a month and a month and a half before I even put it on like Facebook or told anybody.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I guess I didn't want people to think I was serious about it until I felt like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a weird thing. Or there's that person that's done 3 open mics and that is like, I'm going to be headlining soon.
I put my back against the wall because I recorded like my first ever open mic and I started putting that shit on YouTube, on Facebook, like
nice.
Immediately. So now everybody's seeing me do this and I'm like, well, I got to do it now.
Yeah.
You can still find those videos on Facebook. They're not on my account. I'm not even gonna tell you whose account they're on.
Nice.
They are definitely on Facebook on one of my friends.
I think I know
page.
which one you're talking about. All right. If I could give any advice or anything to someone that's going to try an open mic for the first time, it's going to go terribly.
Yeah,
it's going to go
any video.
Yeah, don't do video. Yeah, make sure no cameras are there. Get some audio.
Get some audio.
Take your phone up there, record what you hear so you can listen to it later and get reality. And, there's a chance it might go well, but really, you're just giving that slow pitch to the next set where you really dog shit. I've seen people do well in their first set, don't get me wrong, but it's like karma. It comes back and gets them the next 2 or 3 times. Because you need to.
Yeah, you got to bomb.
You got to do terribly. Because you're writing... I hate to say this, but it's like I was writing shitty jokes 7 months ago. I was writing terrible jokes 5 months ago, and I bet in a year I'll be like, when I was 7 months in, those jokes sucked compared to what I'm writing now. Because you just the more you do it, the more you do it, you really just get so much better at it.
And also, you need to write with other comics.
Yeah,
or write with other people who are
get in your community too. That's one thing I really like about Greensboro is we definitely have a good community.
Yep.
We got a family of people that
pilgrims
keep up with each other and that I don't know, care about the other people's successes. You know what I mean?
Capers.
Yeah.
Phil.
Oh, go ahead and plug that thing you're doing at the end of next month.
So I hosted the Good Nights.
Yeah. Squad.
I get to host with Tom Segura.
Squad. I feel like
September 16th.
September 16th.
Good Nights.
Good Nights. Shows probably starts at 8.
I have no idea.
We have no idea. We'll get the details, but I hope
right now I'm doing that.
I hope someone's listening to this podcast okay, these dudes just started out in comedy. Okay, this dude's hosting for Tom Segura. Okay, asshole. Don't pretend like you're one of us when you're the chosen one.
Nah.
That is sick.
Tom Segura is the funniest. He's one of my top 5 comedians. Dude.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy how funny he is. And just how, just that level of goofiness he has.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
His energy is just good, man. Tom Segura's one of my favorites. I was talking to Trendy last year. I was like, man, I just really want to just get on a show with some a comedian.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, just keep working, stay humble. He said, keep working, stay humble, and good things will happen.
Yeah.
He's right. I just kept writing jokes, man. Before I met you, man, it was just sad and lonely. It was just me writing the jokes out, trying it. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's just I'm always trying something. I'm always trying something new, something different.
Yeah.
Until I got something to work. You just got to cultivate that material till you got a large
something to
bank.
work with. Yeah.
I have a large enough bank that I can get in front of any crowd. If somebody said make them laugh, I'm like, they can laugh at something. I got something.
Yeah. I got a tool belt.
I used to have nothing but sex and sex.
And we're talking about jokes. This isn't life.
And death jokes.
Yeah. Which are not far from each other.
Yeah, true. But who wants to laugh about sex and death all the time? That's
true.
And there's funny stuff anywhere, so you gotta write about that too.
That's the thing too. Finding inspiration is just. I just feel like I always have comic goggles on. Anytime I see something a little out of the ordinary, I'm just like, what's really going on?
Doing stand-up did ruin stand-up comedy for me. I can't enjoy it.
It ruined it. I enjoy people's specials. Yeah. And now I think so more because I'm like, okay, that's a good setup. It was short, sweet. You gave them up. Boom. That's a funny punchline. I didn't know you were going there and boom, here are these tags. Okay, we can talk about that a little bit. All right. Last 2 things we'll talk about: joke outline as we know it to this day, and the editing process, which is the other most important part, I feel like. Mm-hmm. So, biggest thing that I had to learn at the beginning is the structure of a joke, and I kind of relate it in my head to boxing.
Yeah.
Because the setup is you're jabbing, you're kind of look for what's going on, you're getting them on board, then you hit them with a punch. Not the funniest. It's almost, that really is the funniest part of the joke.
Yeah.
Right there. And then as they're laughing, you hit them with tags on the same subject that is going along with the idea to the point where these tags aren't as big as the punchline, but because they were already laughing, they hit harder and harder.
Because
you're off balance. Exactly. That's the most ideal situation.
Yeah,
it doesn't always go if it's going well.
Sometimes you jab and you just miss like a motherfucker.
Yeah, sometimes the punch isn't with, they'll get the setup, then the punch doesn't hit, but you'll get them with a tag and you're like, okay, maybe that's the punch. You know what I mean? And you kind of switch it order. Would bring us to the next thing, I think editing. That took, I wasn't editing for the first like 5 weeks or whatever until you were telling me like to record your sets and listen to them. And it was huge, man, to be able to go back like, because you think
changed everything, didn't it?
Yeah, you think you're going to remember all the things that happened, but you're not. And then you're going to remember them differently, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, like a referee and an actual, like, basketball player. Like, basketball player thought he got fouled, but the referee saw that there was no foul. You know what I mean? And that's kind of being able to go back and look. Because it's like, the biggest thing that advice you gave to me in the beginning was when you listen to the recording, have it go on. When you get your first laugh, pause it. And then write another joke right there.
Yeah.
Talking about the same thing you're talking about. Don't switch to a different joke. Tag it right now. It's already funny. You don't have to worry about it being funny. You said it. Maybe you can work on it, but now you got something funny. Now you got to just exploit it. And that was so beneficial because I was going up there at my open mics with like, all right, I'm gonna tell 5 jokes, which really you could tell one for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And at most, I never try to do more than 3. That's the most I let myself do. But typically I go with a first half set of jokes and tags, and then a second half set up punch tags. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I leave my little room to meander in between through those jokes, I feel like. But it's not about having a lot of jokes, I guess. Just really
it's about
having
good
jokes. It's just about having good jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open micers.
Yeah, the open micers. I feel pretty good about that. That's an hour and 9 minutes.
Word.
Yeah, that's not bad. And we're going to edit some of it, so it's probably be a little under an hour.
Alright,
we'll stop here. Hey guys, you just listened to the Open Micers podcast. I'm Micah Hanner.
I'm JD Etheridge. And if you need to find us on any type of social media, it's the Open Micers on Facebook and at the Open Micers on Instagram and Twitter. And thanks for listening.